That's
So is this it? Let me get closer.
Come a little bit
I'm used to standing up here with a bunch of people with flower girls. Not usually when I'm on these stairs.
Can't top that yet.
Oh, those little flower girls are too cute.
Hi, Kate.
You don't want to have Matt in the middle?
You can come up closer.
We should all be on the same stair.
Yeah, we're kind of crowded over here.
Good.
We're all good.
All right.
How's that?
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for coming today for this Old Spanish Days press conference in conjunction with the City of Santa Barbara and the Police Department of Santa Barbara. We're here to talk about the Caltrans Castillo underpass closure and the impacts that will have on Parade Day. Joining us is Will Powers, the Parade Chair, Division Chief for Pageantry of Old Spanish Days, Rhonda Letzen-Henderson, the La Presidente this year, as well as our Santa Barbara City Administrator, Paul Casey, Derek Bailey, who is the Traffic Engineer of the City of Santa Barbara, and Sergeant Joshua Morton of the Santa Barbara Police Department, who is in charge of all special events, as well as the PIO for the Police Department. To begin, we'd like to introduce Mr. Will Powers, who has been working very closely over the past few weeks to make sure that the parade comes off smoothly with this underpass closure. Will, you can step up here, please.
First, as we look ahead to this year's Fiesta, one of the largest equestrian parades in our area, and obviously one of the cornerstones to our Fiesta traditions, we want to let the public know about how the Caltrans underpass is going to be obviously affecting some Parade Day. We have been working really closely with the city officials as well as the police department to try to find a way to minimize the congestion that's clearly going to be taking place on Parade Day. First, and let me stress this as much as I can, is the actual parade route will not change. We will be going down Cabrillo Boulevard, taking left, going up State Street, and then ending at Sola Street as usual. Where the change is going to take place is instead of taking a left on to Mitchell-Trena Street and then heading down towards the water on Castillo Street, we're going to be going the older way, which is taking a right on Sola Street and going down Garden Street to under the underpass up to Yalinali, then taking a quick ride on Bath, which turns into Montecito, and then back down, Montecito, then back down to Bath, and then back to the Carriage Museum. So it's going to be a little bit of a change. I went a little farther than I thought I was going to go. To lessen the impact on everyone's around, we recommend that after the parade that you actually hang around downtown just for an hour or so all the entries can get back. Because Garden Street will be taken up for anything going, for everything going down, you won't be able to go up Garden Street towards the Mission. If you hang around downtown, it'll kind of lessen the blow. Maybe go to Mercado's or a local venue and kind of hang out there if that's available for you. The last is, again, we want to stress that we apologize for the inconvenience, but we do want to thank the City of Santa Barbara and the Police Department for working with us and allowing us to find a route that would work and lessen the impact on everyone.
Thank you, Will. And as Will mentioned, this definitely has been a collaborative effort. Countless meetings have taken place between city officials, the police department, and OSD officials to make sure that the impacts are as minimal as possible on Parade Day. One of the individuals that's been key to the whole process is the police department's man in charge of special events in the PIO, Sergeant Joshua Morton, and we'd like to introduce him now to say a few words on how the police department has been handling this.
Thank you very much. We do want to say that every group here today has really been working together to make sure that all of this is going to go off smoothly. Our main goal is to make sure that the event, the parade, is smooth, everyone's able to have a good time, and we can make sure that public safety is extremely important for us. So the one thing we want to make sure is when anybody's coming to the city themselves, utilize other off-ramps than the Castillo off-ramp, obviously, because that one's closed. Make sure you utilize Milpa Street. Make sure you utilize your Bass Street off-ramp, Las Positas, Carrillo. Those are the main ones to get to that location. Try to avoid the lower area down near the beach between Castillo and State Street, because a lot of that's going to be closed, so that's definitely something we want to utilize and use your other things. Try to use public transportation to make sure you can get there. Park away. We have plenty of buses, different taxi services, Ubers, all those things that we want to get people down to that venue. So we really appreciate everybody's hard work, but we want to make sure that when everybody gets down there, it's safe. So again, I'll reiterate that if you stay downtown a little bit longer, it gives the police department and the sheriff's department, who will be assisting us, an opportunity to open up the streets.
Thank you, Sergeant. The city of Santa Barbara obviously has been very key in the logistics and the coordination of this whole effort. The mayor could not be here today. She's on jury duty all week. I've included a statement from her in your packets. I've also included a map that came from the police department to show the rerouting of the return of the parade entrance. We have that in a digital version. Along with a press release today, we'll be sending that out to all media outlets. Here on behalf of the city, I would like to introduce the traffic engineer for the city of Santa Barbara, Mr. Derek Bailey.
Hi there, my name's Derek Bailey. I'm with the city's Public Works Department. I just want to compliment Old Spanish Days for being so cooperative and understanding. The closure of the Castillo interchange is a really big impact to the community. We're glad that it's being fixed, but at the same time, anytime you close an interchange in the city, it creates a lot of traffic elsewhere. So to deal with that this year, we are working with Old Spanish Days to have the return route for the parade go back down Garden Street. So after the parade, Garden Street is going to be mostly closed to traffic. That includes the ramps and traffic on Garden. Garden will be able to pass east and west through Garden Street, but Garden Street itself will be closed to traffic. As well, through the Funk Zone, Montecito Street, as it crosses over State Street, heading back towards Castillo and Pershing Park. That'll also have traffic restrictions this year. Our first consideration when we're designing the return route for the parade is the safety of the parade participants and the horses. After that, we're trying to make it as convenient as we can for the public. And just to reiterate, just come downtown, have a great time, stay a little bit late, and it'll be easy getting in and out.
Our final official speaker before we open up for questions and answers is the La Presidente for Old Spanish Days Fiesta 2017, Rhonda Letson Henderson.
Thank you, John. First, thank you for the press for coming out and getting this information out to our community. A parade day is a very special day for us at Old Spanish Days and for our community, and so getting out all this information is critical. Like we've heard before, I want to thank the city, Paul Casey and all of his staff. There's been so many meetings to find the best solution. I want to thank the city of Santa Barbara Police Department for how much they do during Fiesta, especially on parade day. Like everybody else, encourage you, come down to the Mercado, have lunch, support our local nonprofits, come to our businesses, come out and still gather with your friends, but take some public transportation, stay a little longer, let the parade get back to the Carriage Museum, and I hope I see you all during Fiesta. Viva la Fiesta.
That concludes the formal part of our press briefing. We would like to open up for questions if anybody had them of any of the individuals that have spoken today.
I have a question for Will.
Yes.
Will, you spoke. Come on down. Yeah. You spoke a little bit about the route, and I see it on the map as a Sola being the turn.
Correct.
And then you don't go all the way to Castillo on the other side, and come down. You come on through Bass Street. Could you just clarify that a little bit more?
Yeah.
Sola or Mitchell-Torena?
So in the past, we've gone up to Mitchell-Torena and then taken a left. The reason is we need more room up top. We usually have the three streets after the end of the parade route for horse trailers to park. We're expecting that more participants aren't going to want to ride back, so we're trying to lessen the blow for them so they have more room to park. And then the second is why we're going on Bath instead of Castillo Street. I don't remember. That's what we all decided, and so we're doing it.
Bath or Garden?
Bath.
At the end,
At
when
the
you
end.
come past the
Montecito to
neighborhood
Bath.
and the
yeah.
brew house, you're going to turn on Bath, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Come through that little neighborhood?
Yeah, I don't remember why that was decided. We were in a meeting for a good hour and a half talking about every possible route that we could think of.
Yeah.
We went through every street, every pros and cons, and that was it. But I honestly can't remember off the top of me why we decided that one.
And finally, what would you tell somebody who's coming down to have them have the same experience, be there on time, meet their friends and family, and not get so caught up in traffic that you're backed up on the freeway for a mile. How would you orchestrate that if you were to tell your friends to come on down?
So if I had an out-of-town friend and asked them to come, I'd say, you just got to come a little earlier this year. It's worth it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of great entries for the parade. Like usual, everyone's going to dance. You're going to pull. Some horses are going to pull. There'll be beautiful dresses, outfits. You just got to come a little bit earlier than usual. Just to miss the traffic. What I tell all the parade participants is the parade is a hurry up and wait game. You hurry up and wait to get there. You hurry up and wait and get in the wagon. You hurry up and wait to get through the parade, and then you hurry up and wait to go pee.
We'll be sure to put that out for you. And I have a question, maybe for someone else, about the mass transit or transit. Who wants to take this? Are there going to be any more shuttles than normal assigned, or is MTD loading up to handle the volume at all, or do we have any communication from MTD?
There's no change from normal.
Okay, except they can't use State Street.
Right.
Yeah.
What we do, if you go to the Fiesta brochure, there is a schedule and a calendar. It shows where all the routes for MTD is. So I really do encourage using public transportation. It's all in our brochure.
Okay. All right.
Sergeant Morton, what's the estimated crowd size you are regulating on the day of the parade?
I can only give you a ballpark number, anywhere between 150 to 250,000. It just depends. I mean, a given day of Fiesta, the population swells, but the parade day is much more. It's kind of similar to like a 4th of July. So it just depends on how many people want to come out, how other special events in other areas like the Ventura Fair is going on, and how much that's going to draw away from this. But we're hoping that we get a good crowd of people and a lot of people who want to come and have fun.
Want to give us some advice on how to stay out of trouble during Fiesta?
Yes. Make sure that, obviously, if you do come down to Fiesta and you're on State Street and you're enjoying yourself utilizing all of our local establishments, make sure you take Uber or mass transit, a taxi cab. Make sure that you have a designated driver if you need to be out about having fun and drinking. Keep all your belongings, with you. Keep all your kids with you. Make sure everybody's together. Try to be safe, and you'll end up continuing that way. Make sure that when you do park your vehicles downtown, don't leave anything visible inside the vehicles. Mm-hmm. If you're going to store stuff inside your vehicles, put that before you leave the house so that nobody can see you put them inside the car, because there are people watching. So, and if you have all your important belongings with you, you usually shouldn't have an issue. So,
my recollection is you have officers on each corner and in mid-block, usually in teams. Is that generally the plan this year?
That's correct. We're going to have everyone from our agency, all 4 days, all 5 days, we're all here. We don't get any time off, so we all have to be here and work, and we enjoy it. But we're also going to have multiple other agencies, up to 6 to 8 different agencies will come and assist us. So we'll have officers at the corners, walking in between the blocks, in De La Guerra Plaza, up at McKenzie Park, everywhere. We want to make sure that we have a high presence of people to make sure that if anybody has any problems or there is some kind of criminal activity, we're there to help.
All right, that concludes today's press conference. Thanks, all of you, for being here. And you can always email us if any additional questions come up. Thank you.
No one has said Viva la Fiesta yet.
Viva la Fiesta! It's my official duty.
Yeah, nobody screamed it. Okay.
I don't have the flower girls.
I do have the brochure. I do have the brochure.
And I have extra.